and welcome here to Talk FCB, and welcome back to the channel, guys, for the final match preview of the season when it comes to Barcelona. It is Eibar against Barça. Sadly, we do not have a title to play for today, but we are going to be discussing whether this will be Koeman's last game in charge of Barça, and from the statements that he gave in the press conference, why that may indeed be the case. We're also going to be explaining why Lionel Messi will not be involved against Eibar, and what team we could see tomorrow. It is all coming up for the final time. Let's get into it. Because indeed, guys, this right here is not the kind of scenario we were hoping for at the end of a season. Coming into this game, I was hoping that we'd still be fighting for the title, or even better, maybe by this point, we'd have already had it all wrapped up. But as it is, we know now that we cannot win La Liga. The only two teams that can, Real Madrid and Atletico. And all Atletico need to do in that final game of the season against Valladolid is win, and they will become champions of Spain. Real Madrid will be facing off there against Villarreal. But when it comes to Barcelona, as you can see here from the league table, it is not pleasant viewing for any of us Barcelona fans. A draw would secure third place there ahead of Sevilla, because we do have a superior head-to-head record. But either way, doesn't matter whether we beat Eibar, draw or lose, this is going to be our worst league finish since the 2007 to 2008 season. We just had too many losses. And given the fact we have set a number of unwanted records throughout the season, we've all been asking the same question: is this the end for Ronald Koeman? And like I said there in the intro, looking at his quotes before the game in the press conference, he had the feel there of a man who was not confident in the future there in terms of his position, and it almost had the feel in some ways of a farewell press conference. Let's have a look here at exactly what he said, because I also feel there was some anger. Because when being asked about his future, Koeman said, "I don't know if I will continue next season." He said, "Honestly, I really don't know." He said, "I spoke with the president 2 weeks ago." He said, "And then we agreed to talk again at the end of the season." He said, "So all we're going to have to do is wait and see." He said, "I've always said that I wanted to continue and fulfill my contract." So Koeman there, anything but certain that his future is going to be at Barcelona. And then he did go on to say, "I know there's a lot of pressure here at this club," and he said, "I accept that, but sometimes I think that in this country," talking about Spain, he said, "there's much more of a culture of the media getting involved in the coach's future, which I feel is disrespectful." There, Koeman once again hitting out at the media. He's done that a few times now over the past few games. He feels as though he's got unfair treatment from the Catalan press. He said, "In the last month, you need to respect your coach and the players a bit more." He said, "Things have come out in the press and they don't deserve this kind of treatment." He said, "I feel things should have been done differently." And again, Koeman there, frustrated with that kind of treatment. But he then went a step further, and this for me is quite the significant quote when it comes to Koeman. He said, "In the last part of the season, I've not felt the support of the club." He said, "We've not spoken necessarily about the future, but he said there's times where I've had to be the spokesperson for this club." And certainly there, I think you look at those quotes, you look at the fact that there's uncertainty, there's anger, there's frustration hitting out at the media, saying that he doesn't feel supported inside of the club. I personally, and I have done for a while now really, the way the season tailed off, I just think it's the end of the road for Koeman, and I think here, he knows it, and this is likely to be his last game. However, I do just want to illustrate here, guys, something interesting with regards to tomorrow's game, because although technically we are not playing for anything, third or fourth, whatever, either position would be failure for Barcelona. But in terms of the prize money, as you can see here, there is quite a significant difference. You get 59.5 million for finishing top of the league. Look at the difference there between top of the league and bottom. 875,000 for the team that finishes in 20th. But as you can see there, there is a 7 million difference between finishing third and finishing fourth, which of course when it comes to Barça, every single euro right now is being appreciated. And I do bring this to your attention because it's interesting. Because in the media yesterday it emerged that the cost of sacking Ronald Koeman there, the cost of actually terminating the final year of his Barcelona contract, which would be next season, guess what that would be worth? 0.5 million. So the kind of difference there that you'd be gaining by finishing third instead of fourth, that would be a very similar figure to what it would cost there to pay Koeman off. And although previously, of course, Ronald Koeman has been very good with the club, I've said it there on many, many occasions, he's helped the club in times of need in terms of when he arrived, paying his own release clause and taking pay cuts when he's been at the club. But it is believed now from those close to Koeman that he would demand the full payout of his final year. And given what we've heard there in the press conference, I think there is frustration, and I think that wouldn't be much of a surprise. But in terms of tomorrow's game, it is certainly not going to be a full-strength Barcelona team. There are a number of absentees when you're looking at the possible lineup that Koeman is going to choose. Number one, Marc-Andre ter Stegen, he's not going to be there. But the good news is his knee was successfully operated on yesterday, and hopefully he can recover now and fully overcome that problem. There is also going to be no Sergi Roberto. He is going to miss the game through yet another injury after a season to forget for him. And could we have seen Roberto appear in a Barcelona shirt for the very last time, with his future very much uncertain? And also Pedri, 52 appearances he's made for Barcelona this season. Finally now, he gets some serious rest. He's already started there his summer holidays, where he's going to recover ahead of most likely heading to the European Championships. Longley is also suspended after his red card in the last game. But of course, there's also a big absentee too, Lionel Messi. He trained on Thursday without any problem. He was in that session, and I actually think he looked in really, really good spirits in that training session. But then he did not appear on Friday morning in the very final session there before Saturday's game. Barça indeed then released a statement confirming that Messi had missed training and he would miss the game against Eibar after receiving the club's and the coach's permission. Now, I have to make it very clear here, and very importantly, Messi is not injured. That's the good news here. There's no injury problem at all with Messi. He is simply taking a rest in a similar way, really, to Pedri. He's had a demanding season. Of course, he's at the other end of the scale. He's somebody who is aging, of course. He needs this kind of rest. And internationally, he has a huge summer ahead with Argentina, with Copa America on the horizon in just a few weeks' time. But I do also want to say, for somebody there who people are saying, may leave the club, may be thinking about leaving Barcelona, if you were going to leave, if you had it in your mind that you may indeed go elsewhere this summer, would you really miss the final game, the final chance that you'd have to play with Barcelona? Could this be another hint that Messi is staying? And in terms of the squad that Ronald Koeman has selected for this game, I think we were all hoping that maybe we could see a few more of the younger faces and the exciting talents, given the fact that Barcelona B's season is over. Ronald Koeman here does have a few options available to him. Unfortunately, there is no Alex Collado in the squad. That for me was a little bit disappointing, but overall I feel, given the fact that probably this is Koeman's last game, I think what we're going to see here is a very strong team. I don't think we're going to see much experimentation. I think he is going to be thinking short term, get a good result, go out on a good note, and he's not really going to be thinking here, I feel, too much into the long term. And with that said, this is the team right here that I would expect from Koeman. I do expect him to go maybe a bit more offensive, try and score some goals in this final game. Neto will replace ter Stegen in goal most likely. Dest, Araujo, Piqué and Alba along the back line. They're no longer, of course, and I would also play Araujo and Piqué over bringing in somebody there like Samuel Umtiti. Busquets in midfield, De Jong and Ilaix Moriba there in place of Pedri. And then the front three, Ousmane Dembele, Antoine Griezmann, and another player who could be playing for Barça for the final time, Martin Braithwaite, could start this game as the number 9. And that is a team, of course, that given the fact that Eibar, they're already relegated, that team is capable of winning this game and securing third. So that right there, guys, is all from me ahead of the final game of the season. Like I say, this is not really in the way that we all hope. We all hope this season would lead to much, much more. But of course, over the next few weeks, we are going to be talking about getting back on that right path, getting back to where we want to be. Changes are definitely coming, and certainly after this game is over, we are then going to see some of those start to come to fruition. Let me know what you're expecting from the game down below. What would your ideal starting lineup be if you were the one who is picking the team? I will see you, of course, tomorrow after the game for the final match review of the season at Barcelona. Thank you guys for all of your support right throughout this season. We've had ups and we've had downs, but we are still ready to keep fighting. I will see you soon, and thank you again. And as always, Visca El Barça.